depending on where you're watching. Welcome to another edition of Crime Time with DutyRon. Guys, I'm a retired New York City police detective with 20 plus years of law enforcement. And if you like all things true crime related from a police perspective, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, so you will get all things DutyRon when I go live or upload another video. Special thank you to Lazy Bee Mama, Catherine Frame, Robin Roach, Kathy Bates, and Sana Alice Holt Johnson from the Netherlands. Good to see you. Happy week to you. And Alicia B, good to see you. Oh, there's more. Christine Anthony, Jakey5, Carolyn Wilson. Wow, a lot of people were here before I started. So yeah, I had a couple of things I had to do. When I'm out on my lunch, I like to go out and do a couple of post office things. I'm trying to catch up on some of the pens I got to send out. Hi guys, good to see you. Thanks for joining. So guys, I want to say a special thank you to the Patreon supporters, the channel members, and all of the folks who positively engage. Princess Michelle, great to see you. Thank you for waiting patiently. That is very sweet, very kind. So listen, I was doing a lot of thinking. You know, this weekend was very busy. We are having some renovations at the home. I'm getting some new flooring. So me and the missus had to move a lot of things and put stuff in storage. Storage being my shed in the backyard and in my basement. So we had to move a lot of stuff. Good to see you from Kalamazoo. Hi, Lorna McKenzie from the UK. So it was a busy weekend. And I got to say, I had a little bit of time to think late last night, going into Sunday night, going into Monday. And some of the mornings are like my morning ride to work. That's some of the greatest time to think about things. And, you know, Harmony Montgomery is always on my mind. Summer Wells, the boys, Orrin and Orson West. Maya Miliete is still missing. We know somewhat of what happened to Suzanne Morphew. And a lot of these cases get on my mind, you know. Whoa. A lot of these cases get on my mind, and they really, you know, stick out. I really think about it when I have these moments of clarity, if you will. You know, when all of the hecticness slows down and I think. So I started looking at some of my videos late last night that I did in the past, and I stumbled across the Red, White, and Bethune, Jen and Kyle, when they joined me 3 months ago on my YouTube channel, and we highlighted the video that they took in the Teton National, Spread Creek in the Tetons, and they took that video unbeknownst to them. It happened on the anniversary of their son's death, Ethan, and the GoPro was recording and Kyle didn't know it, but it's a routine that they do. They give their YouTube fans the view of Kyle on the road. It's like a GoPro that's stuck on the windshield, and then they have a GoPro that looks back. And he thought that he shut that GoPro off, and you know the rest of the story, right? Mystery Maven, good to see you. So the rest of the story is their video and their footage, thanks to one of their fans telling them, hey, the FBI is looking for anybody that's in that area. So it was a collaboration of their community, the Red, White, and Bethune community, the people who travel across the nation in their RVs. They said to them, hey, you need to check your footage. The FBI is asking anyone that was in that Spread Creek Grand Tetons, you guys were there. And their followers on YouTube and their subscribers and their friends, they knew that Jen and Kyle were there. So my point is that they were not searchers for the missing. They were not true crime content creators. They still are not true crime content creators. But you know what? Now every show that they do, they highlight the missing. So because of what happened, and if it wasn't for them, unbeknownst to them, recording that video, Gabby Petito may have never been found. Her remains, I'm not saying that they would never have been found, but they had a very, very difficult, it would have been a very difficult time for searchers to find Gabby Petito where she was. And it would have taken probably a long time. So it made me make this this video. This is what inspired me to make a video about great groups who search for the missing. Over the time that I've been doing YouTube, now my law enforcement career, I know a lot of you like when I say law enforcement, but my law enforcement career spanned 2 decades. Good afternoon, Gary. Good to see you. My New York City Police Department law enforcement career spanned 2 decades. And now in my 3rd decade, I am retired. I cover true crime cases. I cover the missing. My passion now is really for the missing, because those are some of the most vulnerable people, right? I wear this wristband, Lost is Not Alone, right? I know it's upside down. Let me take it off. But I wear this wristband on my wrist. And Lost is Not Alone, EquuSearch Midwest, Texas EquuSearch. That's my #1 and top group who searches for the missing and who does it respectfully. I want to talk to you about a group of people on YouTube. Now, you guys also know that I had Mark Class from the Class Kids Foundation. Come on, right? Lieutenant Pete Pranzo, good to see you. And now if Lieutenant Pete Pranzo is here, that means Richella Pranzo, his wife, his beautiful wife, is also either by his side or in the chat. They're both moderators. They're both supporters. They're both great friends of mine. So good to see you, Lieutenant Pete and Richella. So we had Mark Class. We had Tim Miller from EquuSearch, the founder of EquuSearch. We have and had Dave Rader, Twyla Cisco, Gene Robinson, and all of the drone operators that are unbelievable, right? Robin, thank you for that, Robin Roach. Hey, Trucker Steve, good to see you, brother. Hope your new year is starting off well, and I hope you're closer to getting that new truck. So it was an honor and a pleasure to have Mark Class, Gene Robinson, Dave Rader, Twyla Cisco, Tim Miller, and all of the great ones that search for the missing. But I also noticed, and I also have come across some great YouTube content creators. And I want to recognize the diving community. Sam, the Adventure Man, right? Chaos Divers, Jacob. Adventures with Purpose. These guys are doing an unbelievable job. And I have to recognize them. I have to give them a shout out, because those folks, and there's many more, I know that there's many more in the dive community, but Jacob, who has reached out to me personally from Chaos Divers, has passion, has his heart into it, he has his soul in it. Sam, and also Jared from Adventures with Purpose. These guys do it with respect. They do it with dignity. They follow the protocols with the police department. And they work hand in hand in bringing home and solving many, many cold cases. I mean, I started watching some of the stuff a long time ago, what these guys do. I really, and this, again, this video is not in any way, shape, or form a full and complete listing of all the great people, because there's too many to mention. I would have to sit here for 3, 4, 5 hours listing out all the great people. But I just want you guys to know, listen, by a show of hands here, who knows these people that I'm talking about? These are just 3 examples. Jacob from Chaos Divers, Sam, the Adventure Man, and Jared from Adventures with Purpose. Put a 1 in the chat if you know these people. Put a 1 in the chat if you know them and follow them and subscribe to them. I encourage you all to subscribe to these good people, support them, send them super chats or donations to help keep them doing what they're doing, because they're bringing the missing home. They're solving cases. I will link each one of these guys' YouTube channel in the description when I get back to my office. These guys working hand in hand with law enforcement, are doing an unbelievable job, And they're bringing home person after person to the families. And that's a great thing. It's a great thing. Vet Girl RWB, can you talk about the training and credentials these search groups have, the requirements, please and thank you. You're such a polite young woman, and I thank you for that. I know that for a fact the dive teams, all three of these guys are certified. They have training. They don't just do this to do it for fun. They have training. You know, lifelong learner, says a member of Adventures with Purpose. I mean, listen, I could speak for EquuSearch Midwest. Everybody is trained in search and recovery of human remains. Everybody gets training and gets retrained, and they do a lot of stuff. These divers have to be certified to dive. But the reason I'm bringing them up is because there's so much hogwash. There's so much buffoonery. There's so many jagaloons who are disgracing the missing. You have the nightmare that's going on with Summerwell's case, right? You have the craziness, the insanity that went on out in front of Brian Laundrie's home. You have people who are just not helping in finding the missing and being actually slowing down, because you're taking police and their resources where they have to come and respond to disputes and disturbances. Nobody does anything good when you go and harass people. These groups that I'm mentioning to you, Chaos Divers, Sam the Adventure Man, Adventures with Purpose, EquuSearch, and Mark Class with the Class Kids Foundation, they go and help law enforcement search for missing. They go and help law enforcement without sitting there and causing a disorderly conduct situation. Jagaloons and people who are in it for other purposes than helping finding the missing are distractions. They're a distraction. It's despicable and disgraceful. So why I wanted to do this, why I wanted to do this is because I wanted to talk about, Kyra, I'm talking about it. These three groups that I just mentioned to you, EquuSearch Midwest, actually it's 5 groups that I mentioned: EquuSearch, Mark Class Kids from the Class Kids Foundation, Sam the Adventure Man, Adventures with Purpose, and Chaos Divers. And there's many more that are out there, but I don't know of them. But these guys are bringing home cold cases, people who have gone missing for upwards close to 20 years. It's just unbelievable. Gary, I'm not mentioning, listen, let's not get into any kind of mentioning of names, but dignity and respect for the victims and the families are very, very important. You see, I mentioned on my last video, it's very difficult for a police detective to go to a home and say, Mom, Dad, your son or daughter, your loved one has committed suicide or has been killed. It's a very, very hard thing to do. It's hard for the investigators. It's hard for, obviously, the family. It's hard for everybody involved. So my point is listen, I'm going to make this as short and sweet as I can. The people and the organizations that I mentioned here today will be linked down below in the description. Let me know if you understand what I'm getting at here. What I'm getting at is subscribe and support people who are doing good, positive things. If you want to become, like many people ask me, how can I become a part of this? How can I help? Well, it's twofold. Be careful of who you support and help, because you want to know what they're doing, if they're doing something good. Don't just buy a bag of goods from some snake oil salesman on the internet that's telling you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Carol Loving Alaska, thank you so much for the support. She says, thank you, DutyRon. In other words, people sell bags of goods all day long on the internet. Until you see actions speak louder than words, until you see them do something, be cautious about when you want to send support to them, because it doesn't necessarily mean your support is going to be going in the right direction. Example, Crime Time with DutyRon, and I'm going to bring up myself because it's all of you I'm bringing up. I'm not bringing up just this to highlight myself, but our community here, Crime Time with DutyRon, has supported Orrin and Orson West, Sincere and Classic, for over a year. And $15,000 of your money, Mystery Maven, anybody who is in this chat, anybody that is a channel member, anybody that's a Patreon supporter, anybody that has sent super chats, $15,000 in 2021 went to keep awareness for Sincere and Classic. That's your money being spent going to Roro and going to the Lamar advertising and helping to find the missing, to help find the boys. Thank you, Jocelyn. Let me say something about Jocelyn. This is a great person who reached out to me and offered to help me with my banners, with my website, and didn't want any money in exchange for it. She just reached out to me and said, DutyRon, I want to help you. And thank you for that. I really love that. Thank you. But again, your money is valuable. Nobody wants to take money and throw it in the street or throw it in the garbage. So these people who I mentioned, they're a safe bet. If you support them, your money is going to go to a very, very positive, constructive search for the missing. Kyra, I don't know what you're apologizing about, but whatever it is, I accept. I accept upon review of what you're apologizing over. I'll say that. But right now I accept. But I will review the chat and see what you're apologizing about. So my point is, let me just know, by a show of hands, do you guys understand I'm doing this and I'm making this video so you guys can see and know where the hearts are of this community here. We want to do good. We want to try to help find the missing. Corinna, thank you. Hello, Florida Pete. Bethella Young, thank you for being new. Anybody who is new, first time in the chat, first time stumbling across this community, let me know by putting a new in the chat. If you are old, just say, hey, I've been here. I've been here. I've been here. So let's see who's new and who's been here. Just put been here, B-E-E-N here. I just want to see. Mystique is new. Thank you. Hi, Josie. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Ancient. Hi, Ray. Pour me a drink, Ray. Pretty new. Thank you for being a channel member. Yvette has been here a long time. Tony Lee, Blair. Thank you. So, looks like we have a good combination of a lot of regular people and returning people. I want to do in 2022, I want to do a campaign where I am going to try to support some of these folks that I mentioned here. I'm going to reach out to Jacob of Chaos Divers. I'm going to reach out to some of these dive teams because divers are needed. Just like I support Gene Robinson for the drone pilots. I support Chris Starnes from First to Deploy. Drones, searchers on the ground, EquuSearch, and our divers, those three are the dynamic trios. Those are the three musketeers of searching. You need searchers on the ground, you need the divers when you have the bodies of water, and you need the drone pilots to search and do. That is the 1-2-3 punch. It's not a 1-2 punch, it's a 1-2-3 punch. These are the people who are so needed and so important to get out there. Because without the divers, without the ground searchers, and without the drone pilots, It just doesn't work. So they all work collaboratively, and we cannot leave out the fourth element, the searchers with the dogs, the canines, the bloodhounds. There it is. Those four folks working together, hand in hand with law enforcement, is what's needed to search for the missing. Not somebody screaming and yelling and carrying on and interviewing principals and witnesses and interviewing people and getting people drunk to come on their YouTube video channel. What does that do? It does nothing. These four people, these four elements that I mentioned here, is what gets the job done. Not some screaming lunatic, not some jagaloon that's going to go to someone's house and scream and yell at them. What does that do? It doesn't guts. It does nothing. And if you want to, listen, to each their own. If you want to support that, then have at it. But definitely, you're not going to find that here. I will not and will never support someone who is pulling and acting like a fool. It's just ridiculous. Does nothing. It demeans the missing. It's demoralizing to the family, and it's counterproductive to the law enforcement. It makes law enforcement have to work harder because they got to go out and babysit these fools. Thank you, Kathy Bates. I love you. Chef Lady, message agreed. Charisma, thank you for being a channel member. Guys, if you're not yet subscribed, consider subscribing to this channel. Consider becoming a channel member, a Patreon supporter. Your money comes in and goes out to these great groups. I'm going to reach out to Jacob and some of these divers and try to see how we could support them. I might try to do a fundraising live stream where all of the money goes to a 501c3 nonprofit group so we could search for the missing. I'm really working on a lot of brainstorming, a lot of ideas. I was asking questions that you already answered. Kyra, thank you. Massili Carpenter, that's a good old Italian gal there. Thank you guys. All right, so again, Jolene511, she says, I'm trying to help a friend having issues overseas, military. Send me an email on DutyRon.com. All of those kind of things, send me something on DutyRon.com. All right, guys, 22 minutes of me cackling and gabbing here. But listen, when Gabby Petito went missing, I reached out to Jim Schmidt. I reached out to Nicole Schmidt. I reached out to Joe Petito. And I didn't reach out to them to say, hey, will you come on my YouTube channel? I want to interview you. Will you do this? Will you do that? I reached out to him and I said, I am the law enforcement liaison with EquuSearch Midwest, and I can get drone pilots to come and help you search for your daughter in the Tetons. That was it. That's what I did. That was it. And along the way, we became friends, especially Nicole, Gabby's mom. And Nicole and I communicate on a regular basis. And the communication is just about her daughter's case. It's about what happened to her daughter. And that's it. But I don't go onto YouTube and blab about the things that we speak about, because that would make me a jagaloon. I want to help them. And that's it. I want to help people get through a bad situation. I don't want to solve the case. That's the police job. It's not our job. Caroline, thank you for becoming a channel member. Lady is a Tramp, thank you for the super chat. I think I missed one. Oh, no. June DiCarlo, there it is. I didn't miss it. Thank you for the super sticker. That's what we need to do. As people always say to me, DutyRon, what can I do to help? I'm disabled. I'm out of shape. I can't go and search. What can I do to help? Find a good group of people. Find somebody who has good intentions and that repurposes their funds to these very groups that search for the missing. That's what you could do. If you have $5 to donate, Lake Lizard, you're the best. Gerda, I love you over there in South Africa. That's what you could do to help. If you have $5 you could spare and you want to send it to a good search group, send me a message. I'll tell you where to send it, or I'll put you in the right direction. You know? There's so many lifelong learner. I mean, listen, I could go on for hours here, but I only have 30 minutes. So this is not a full list of seeing, this is not a full list of me mentioning, but look, my father, who is deceased quite a while now, my dad died of cancer. His number, 328, is coming up. Now it's 329. But we had 328 people in this chat. That was my father's number, and it keeps going back and forth between 328, there it is, it's back again. That's my father's number. I believe that the power of our loved ones who have gone on can communicate with you. That 328 number keeps coming up, and I'm telling you, it just makes me so happy. Lady is a Tramp, thank you for Mrs. DutyRon. Thank you so much. My father is watching, but all of our loved ones who have passed on are watching. And I believe that. I really do. I want to say a special prayer for Joey Brooklyn. His dad has passed on Saturday night, I believe it was 2:30 something in the morning. Joey Brooklyn, our director of security, his dad has passed on. The funeral is this week. I will be sending on behalf of Crime Time with DutyRon and the family. Latonia, thank you so much for that super sticker. Thank you for the love. I will be sending over to the funeral home a beautiful arrangement from Crime Time with DutyRon. It's going to be all from all of you for Joey Brooklyn. And then I will be sending something personally from myself, a nice plant that he can keep that will live and flourish and flower, just like I did with Joey Brooklyn's wife's mom when she passed on. So on behalf of all of you, Crime Time with DutyRon members, subscribers, friends, we will be sending over a little piece of goodness and love to Joey Brooklyn. That's going to be on behalf. Dr. Sexy, good to see you. Thank you. Joey is an amazing man. He does so much for this channel. He does so much for welcoming everybody who comes in here. So Joey is a great guy. But on behalf of Crime Time with DutyRon, that's all of you guys. We're going to be sending a piece, a little arrangement over to the funeral home on Wednesday and Thursday. Those are the days of his father being laid to rest. So a lot of love and respect from my house to yours. Guys, again, consider subscribing, hitting the thumbs up. Leave me a message down below. Let me know what you think. You know, if you think I was off base, let me know. But I don't think a lot of people will say that. I think the people who think I'm off base might have some toxic tendencies that they like. If you like drama and toxic stuff, this is not a place for you, definitely. Hello from Belgium. Good to see you, Seska. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, how are you, Fibro? Fibro Freak, great to see you. Thank you for joining. So yeah, guys, a lot of love and respect from my house to yours. Please engage. Follow me on social media, all one word, DutyRon, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and now TikTok. Hit me up on TikTok. Follow me there. I'm trying to grow that because I can repurpose some of my good content from here onto TikTok. Sarah, thank you so much for the prayers for Joey Brooklyn. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. 328 is showing up. There it is, 329 now. It keeps going back and forth, 328, 329. I love it. I love it. I love it. Femme Fatale, listen, no toxic, no drama here. We don't allow it. It doesn't exist. We don't give it a chance to breathe. It just gets eliminated immediately. So that's what's great about Crime Time with DutyRon. Ed Wallace is traveling. He went to get some furniture from his son's apartment in Denver, Colorado. So Ed is in Colorado and he's traveling home. I'm going to have a great show with Ed Wallace sometime this week. So be on the lookout for me and Ed Wallace. The Return. We're going to bill it as The Return of Ed Wallace. It's coming soon to a theater near you. So there's Nancy asking about Ed. All right, guys. A lot of love and respect from my house to yours. God bless the world. Jamie, you're too kind. God bless the United States of America, and God bless each and every one of us here in the chat. Scorpion Rising, I love it. I love you. I love all of the engagement. Thank you, Gary, for the super chat. But especially all victims of crime and their families, and Joey Brooklyn right now needs us now more than ever. Harmony Montgomery, Joey Brooklyn, and all of the missing that we talk about. Elizabeth Meyer, thank you so much for that super love. Thank you for that $20 super chat. Much appreciated. But they all need us now more than ever. So take care, and I'll see you guys soon on the next one. And remember, Lost is not alone. Remember, Lost is not alone. 328. Thank you, Sandra. Peace and love, guys. Thank you. Thank you to the replay viewers as well. There's my Italian long goodbye.